In order to access eProcurement, enter your user ID, password and domain and log on. Select eProcurement and then Shop. There are two types of carts to choose from: Create Limit Item or Describe Requirement. Select Describe Requirement. The shopping process consists of 3 stages, starting with selecting the goods or service, which are then added to a shopping cart, and finally completing the order. The first stage requires you to complete several fields, starting with the description of what you're ordering, you have the option of adding an internal note, any extra information regarding the purchase, enter the quantity required for the item, enter the unit of measure by selecting the drop-down and selecting the 3 dots option, a list of units are generated. Select the appropriate unit. Enter the price of the item and select the currency by selecting the drop-down and the 3 dots option. A list of currencies are generated to choose from. Select the appropriate currency. Choose a product category by selecting the drop-down and the 3 dots option. If you do not know the category, leave these fields blank and select Start. A list of product categories are generated. Select the appropriate category. If you know the beginning of the category description, you can enter this in this field, followed by an asterisk. Select Start. A list of product categories are generated beginning with the description you entered. Select the appropriate category. Finally, add the date that the item is required on. Select Add to Shopping Cart. The status bar updates to indicate the second stage of the process. And the item you selected is added to a shopping cart. To drill down into the item, select the Details icon. The Basic Data tab shows the information you entered in stage 1. And if required, change the quantity, price and delivery date in this tab. An alternative goods recipient can be selected by selecting this drop-down and selecting the three dots option. Either enter their name or user ID. And select Start. Select the user. The goods recipient field is updated. To select a cost object, select the Cost Assignment tab. Choose the cost object by selecting this drop-down and the three dots option. Select the appropriate cost object. To select the cost object number, either enter it in manually or you can select the find icon. Enter the cost object number. And select Start to search. Select the cost object. Alternatively, enter the start of the cost center, G0, followed by an asterisk. Select Start. This generates a list of cost centers beginning with G0. Select the appropriate cost center. To choose a vendor, select the Sources of Supply Service Agents tab. Select the Find icon. Enter the full name of the vendor in this field. Select Start to search and select the vendor. Alternatively, you can enter the beginning of the vendor's name, followed by an asterisk, and select Start. This generates a list of all the vendors beginning with that entry. Select the vendor. The chosen vendor number and name of the vendor is populated.